The 2026 NSAA state basketball coverage on News Channel Nebraska is presented by Medica. With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for. And by Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Find out more at libertyfirstcu.com.
A team that is no stranger to the state tournament and a team that is looking to be the Cinderella. Auburn and Gothenburg ready to decide the bottom half of the Class C1 bracket. We just saw Ashton Greenwood advance their fifth straight semifinal. It's a tale as old as time, Ashton Greenwood and Auburn at state, but Gothenburg, they want something to say about that, Andy.
You're exactly right, and they're maybe the most unselfish team down here at the state tournament. 7 times they had 7 different leading scorers throughout this season. They also have 7 guys with over 100 points on the season, 3 of which have over 200. So they share the basketball. Nobody's looking for that limelight, but they all can score.
Well, this is a very different looking Auburn team than in the past. Brenton Wenzel is the only returning starter. How impressive is it that Jim Weeks was able to meld all these new pieces together to get to a 3 seed at state?
Well, Auburn might be the most patient team here at state. They work the ball around, but there's a method to it. They generate a lot of great shots. 8 times this year they saw it over 50% from the field. So they don't just work the ball around, they work it around and execute a great look.
One of those new starters is Ryan Guenther. He's our key player for the Bulldogs. 14 points per game this season. He's kind of been a nice safety net behind Brenton Wenzel, and he's been so much of a safety net that he's become the Bulldogs' leading scorer.
You're exactly right, leading scorer. And you're not going to mistake him for Freddie Krueger or Jason, but he's a slasher. He gets to the rim, and it placates perfect to these senior point guards that find him on his way to the rim.
I like that movie reference. Good couple of films there. On the flip side, Boone Cheaterman's been really good. Again, he doesn't jump off the page in terms of scoring because you mentioned it. Gothenburg has so many guys that they have lead them in scores this season, but he's the one to watch.
He really is, and he can play multiple positions. He's at 6 foot. He kind of plays that guard, that forward, averaging 10 points per game. Scores when he has to, scores when he's called upon. Just that steady Eddie performance.
We've got lots more to come on our Custom Sports pregame. On the other side, we'll check in with our own Pat Jansen. We'll take a look at our school spotlight, and we'll also take a look at our Class C1 roadmap. Auburn and Gothenburg ready to decide the C1 semifinals.
My family's been farming since the early 1900s, and it's still where we like to call home. I get to go out to the field. I get to see farmers. When they have someone that actually experienced it, they're more willing to open up and talk to you a lot more. They just kind of become a part of you.
The pregame show is sponsored by Custom Sports. Look great for every game with custom team or business apparel from Custom Sports.
State tournament basketball here in the Bob Devaney Center. I'm Pat Jansen, just about set to get underway between Auburn and Gothenburg. And whoever wins this game in Class C1 is probably going to be firing from deep. Auburn is just 6 3-pointers away from setting a school record for most 3-pointers in a season. In fact, they've shot 40% or better from 3 in 15 games this season, 50 or better in 8 games. But Gothenburg is no slouch from behind the arc either. They've made 146 out of 474. But while these games might be bigger, the 3-point arc is not. In the Auburn Gymnasium or in the Gothenburg Gymnasium, it is 19 feet, 9 inches. We've got 2 people from either school. Come on in, guys. From Gothenburg, we've got
Jax Rickardson.
From Auburn, we've got
Mason Schultz.
They're going to show us exactly how far away the 3-pointer is here in the Devaney Center. Mason, you want to take one end of that? Jax, you hold the other end of that. Head on out there to the top of the key. "19 feet, 9 inches. It's the same no matter how big the game is, and it's a big one here. Whoever's going to win this will be shooting 3-pointers in Pinnacle Bank Arena against Ashland Greenwood tomorrow. More quarterfinal action after this on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Auto Central in Kearney. From cost-effective daily drivers to luxury cars that match your style, Auto Central is sure to have the ride you're looking for. Ignite the fire and find peace. And by Union Bank and Trust. Your money has people.
Ethical behavior at all times. Support your team. Gothenburg, the 6 seed, the Bulldogs, the 3, moments away from teeing it up to decide our semifinals. Let's learn a little bit more about these two schools. Auburn, they are the Bulldogs at the state tournament for an incredible 28th time. Jim Weeks, a few more times than that as well. Time as Beatrice's head coach. 3 state championships in 2019, 2020, and 2021. They missed out on the state tournament a year ago when they lost to Fillmore Central in a stunning upset in the district final, their last appearance in 2024.
Yeah, they've definitely used that as fuel to kind of fire this season. The run they've been on really speaks to the parity in Class C1. 24-1, their overall record, dropping 1 game, and they're the 3 seed.
No doubt about that. Just shows how loaded this C1 field is with Ogallala, Ashton Greenwood, and of course the Bulldogs. But don't forget about the Gothenburg Swedes. 20-6 on the season here at the state tournament for the 23rd time. It's been since 1962 that they won their one and only state championship. And believe it or not, Andy, that was in Class B.
Yeah, who could forget the 1962 squad? Those guys were amazing. No, but back to the here and now. This is such an unselfish team. I think what really bodes well for them is anybody can go off on the offensive end at any given time. So they have multiple options to kind of lean to look to. If things aren't working out early on, they can just cycle through would-be score to would-be score.
No doubt about that. And they do have one of the longer trips to Lincoln in this C1 bracket. Not as far as Ogallala, but Gothenburg right up there, 190 miles, less than 100 miles more for Ogallala. They have the longest trip here in a well-dispersed bracket on the road map.
Yeah, just everybody hops on I-80 and all roads lead to Lincoln, right? Ogallala, Gothenburg. Auburn's been here a couple of times, so they know how to get up Highway 75 and get on over to I-80.
All roads certainly do lead to the state tournament. We'll step aside, getting ready to go here, starting lineups when we return.
Updating your home? Start at Crotter's Home Center in O'Neill, the store with everything under one roof. From brand new KitchenAid appliances to beautiful LVT flooring and fresh paint colors that bring your space to life. Or soften things up with a Sutherland mattress, pillows, sheets, and plush Caraloha bamboo towels. Whether it's one room or the whole house, make it simple, make it stylish, make it happen at Crotter's Home Center in O'Neill, where service is a family tradition.
All right, I'm John Stewart. I served almost 27 years in the Air Force. After I retired, I became very ill from Agent Orange exposure, and I lost everything we owned. One night, I sat there and practiced with a shotgun to kill myself. I said, well, I can't do this to my wife. So I went and got help, and as years passed, I became an ordained minister, and I work with veterans and trying to help people and get them to help others too.
If anxiety, addiction, or hopeless thoughts feel overwhelming, text HOME to 741-741 for support.
I spend with purpose because I bank with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union. With my Liberty Plus checking account, I can earn extra cash just for spending on everyday things, like groceries, online or in-store purchases, and lunch. At Liberty First, anyone can join, so start earning money to spend on the things you love. Start banking with purpose. Start banking with Liberty First Credit Union.
When quality matters, it starts at Scotty's Ranchland Foods in Valentine. They're known for the highest quality beef, carefully aged to perfection, alongside fresh, vibrant produce, and a deli famous for fresh, never frozen fried chicken. It's quality you can see. Home of Scotty's Meat RX. Scotty's Ranchland Foods in Valentine, Nebraska. A better cut every time.
When you're running the bases of a busy day, let Speedy Mart at 13235 Grover Street in Omaha knock it out of the park. Start your morning with breakfast made with the real thing, fresh eggs. Step inside for tasty snacks, refreshing drinks, and friendly service that treats you like family. With a dynamic team full of energy and great chemistry, every stop feels like a win. Speedy Mart, where every visit is a home run.
My name is Langston Christensen. I'm from Hardington, Nebraska. My faith has really let me open opportunities for myself just because I put my trust in God's plan. And that has really allowed me to free myself of anxieties and fears and stage fright and sort of let go of my ego and what people are going to think about me and let God.
Visit with your local priest or pastor. A simple conversation can be the first step to discover the peace that comes from faith.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil. Stop at your nearest Speedy Mart or Good to Go convenience stores today. And by The Carpet Shop, providing quality residential and commercial floor covering and installation for almost 50 years.
Officials for today giving out their fist bumps to the boys as we get ready to go for Auburn and Gothenburg. August official Lance Moore, Colin Swedberg, Paul Sorge, the bench official for today's game. Starting lineups. Andy, want to do some lineups?
No, go for it, Jake. You're the master.
I'm the master. I feel like I stole your thunder doing the officials. That's your thing, but I wanted to return the favor. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups. First for Gothenburg, 6 seed, 20-6. Kingston Koehn, a sophomore, along with Landon Mirajic, a senior guard. Boone Tiedemann, he was our player to watch, 9.4 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per game. Alex Jorgensen, the power forward at 6'3", and Braden Ehlers, a shooting guard, a junior at 5'11", 2.5 steals per game.
Yeah,
this is a Gothenburg team that plays hard.
Yeah, they got multiple guys hanging around that 8 points, 12 points per game. Ehlers at the top of the list there with his more than capable shooting prowess from the outside.
Yeah, dangerous to match up against are the Swedes, simply because you said they've got so many guys that hover around that mid-scoring mark. Ryan Guenther, Carson Levine, Brenton Wenzel, Creighton Keeling, Brayan Palmer, the starting five. For Jim Weeks and the Auburn Bulldogs, Brenton Wenzel, 13.5 points per game. Ryan Guenther, 14.2 points per game. How do the Swedes combat that two-headed monster for the Bulldogs?
You know, they just got to be patient to play straight-up defense, because Auburn's going to try and get you out of your game, get you pressing. They're going to rush you on defense, but on offense, they're really going to force you to play each and every 35-second shot clock all the way out. They're such a patient team offensively, and they almost lure you in to rolling the dice, and that's when they pounce and lay something in easy on the backside.
Bulldogs allowing the fewest points per game of anyone in the C1 field at 35.6 points allowed per game. Wow. They score 62. That's just vintage Jim Weeks. Shot clock didn't really change things like people thought it would for Auburn.
No, and that's the misconception with Jim Weeks' type of team. Just because they're patient and they like to take their time on offense doesn't mean that they're not looking to attack.
No doubt about that. They are a lot of ball screen, motion offense. They'll man you up on defense as well, 95% of the time. We are ready to go. Again, Koehn, Mirajic, Tiedemann, Jorgensen, Braden Ehlers, the five for Gothenburg. On the flip side, it's Ryan Guenther, Carson Levine, Brenton Wenzel, Creighton Keeling, Brayan Palmer for Auburn. He's Andy Klassen. I'm Jake Bartecki. Pat Jansen working the sidelines this afternoon as we get ready to decide the fourth and final member of the C1 semifinal.
Should be a good one. Felt like a little bit of an upset if Gothenburg would, come away with this victory here, but I don't think too many people would be shocked or too surprised if the Swedes were able to advance.
I don't think so either. We're going to find out who is going to join Ashland Greenwood for a date tomorrow at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Tip is up and won by the Bulldogs, and Brenton Wenzel, the only returning starter for Auburn this season, works it up the floor.
Yeah, number 3's only been starting for about 4 seasons for the Bulldogs. He's got that experience they can lean on.
He's one of the most experienced players in the entire state, no matter the class. Dish inside. Layup wouldn't go for Ryan Guenther, and again, that was our key player in our custom sports pregame. 14 points per game, and he's 66% from the floor. And this is his first attempt of the game. First possession here for the Swedes. Jump shot in the lane by Mirajic wouldn't go. Both teams empty on their first possession.
Yeah, a couple good looks there offensively, but defense hanging in there right there with them, altering the shot.
Extended block with a basketball, 6'5", Brayan Palmer, long, lengthy frame. He has the ball knocked free. Stay here with the Bulldogs.
Tiedemann, that is great. Boone Tiedemann, great help there, peeling off his man, almost coming away with the steal.
District final win on the road for Gothenburg against Donovan Trumbull. At 8 points did Boone Tiedemann. Not necessarily his best game of his career, but boy, he made an impact. Making an impact early, Brenton Wenzel splashes the three.
You're going to have to extend your defense out. The guards are just too good as shooters for the Bulldogs.
Handoff left side. Ball in the possession of Kingston Koehn. Koehn drives in. He got blocked. Ryan Guenther gets the paw on it and knocks it out of bounds.
You know, Guenther does so many things well for the Dogs. You forget about how good he is defensively.
He averages half a block per game, so he's already surpassed that here in less than 90 seconds. 3-0 Auburn. Brenton Wenzel with the three to start. Ooh, and the answer in and out there for Boone Cedarman.
Came off that screen, was able to get a really good look. Shot that one in rhythm. That looked like it was going to fall. It did not.
Inside, missed his first attempt at Ryan Guenther, but he works it back out to Brenton Wenzel. Wenzel loves shooting late in the shot clock, Andy. We saw him against Freeman earlier this season. Knocked down late shot after late shot, and Ryan Guenther connects on his third attempt of the game.
Yeah, I think we saw him close out the first half, the third quarter with deep threes. Yeah. It was just like a foregone conclusion who was going to have the ball in crunch time and what was going to happen.
And it didn't matter if they had 1, 2, 3 guys on him. He was able to knock them down. One of his best games of the season. His best, though, is a season-high 26 against Louisville in early December. Working around a double team. Braden Ehlers swung it back to his right. This three left well short by Kingston Koehn, and Wenzel secures the rebound for Auburn. Three points for Brenton Wenzel, 2 for Ryan Guenther. The 2 leading scorers for Auburn have been the first 2 to score in this game here today. In the middle of the lane, Palmer drives in, puts it up, and a chance on a 3-point play. What a start for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and that was a clear call. They're wide out, get 4 guys outside, let the big fella do his work in Palmer. Only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's got some size. 6'5", 183, long and lengthy. You've kind of got things in Braden Palmer that you just can't teach, and one of them is the length.
You're exactly right.
Efficient scorer at the rim, 55%. Tried to bank in the free throw. He tried to grab his own rebound as well, but Bryson Niels, who checked in off the bench for Kent Koehn, 4th-year head coach for Gothenburg, grabs the rebound.
But the Swedes got to be careful. They really can't allow this lead to get out much further.
And you almost feel like this is a must-score possession here. And mission accomplished. Kingston Koehn pulls off the spin move and lays in the jump shot.
My goodness, the super sophomore with the spin move.
Brian Palmer dropped down to the paint. He was open. I don't think Brenton Wenzel saw him. He plays catch in the front court with Creighton Keeling. There's Palmer. Has the ball swatted free. Good defense by the Swedes. And a pass up the floor here.
Fantastic job in that 2-3 zone, rotating over, getting into those passing lanes.
Brian Palmer chest pass to Carson Levine. Levine will drop one back and get into the defensive position. Driving in. Good look by Ehlers. Didn't have the angle, but he got fouled. And will go to the line for 2. Probably didn't have the angle because he got hacked pretty hard on the play.
You're exactly right, but he didn't give up on the play. Didn't look to the official for the foul. No, he goes after his own rebound. Gets paid off with the second chance.
Gotta love the effort you're seeing here from Gothenburg. Obviously not the start they wanted in this ball game, but still attacking, still getting to the rim, Andy Classic.
Yeah, not a bad start, though. They've had positive things on the offensive end, just haven't been able to finish at the rim. Now you're starting to see that ball go through for him. That was a really nice drive baseline. Ehlers getting to the rack and one. Knocks down both free throws.
Yeah, he did indeed. 7-4. 4:15 to go here in the first half. First quarter, I should say. Gothenburg on the board. And there's the patented Weeks whistle, as it's known by many of his former players. You could hear it through our headsets clearly. And Guenther tried to go in for the rebound, couldn't corral it. Ball goes out of bounds.
And it was also a kind of a patented set there for the Bulldogs, how they're able to just work the ball around the perimeter and then get it inside.
Levine, good block by Marajic as well. Inside, Palmer had the ball knocked free. Another steal here for the Swedes. Getting out and running. Niels lays it in transition. And it's a 6-0 run for Gothenburg, and it's a 1-point game.
You got to be impressed with the Swedes and their ability to push the tempo, and score in transition.
Breaking a little bit of a press here, the Bulldogs, early on from Gothenburg.
Yeah, and of course it starts with the defense, right? The Swedes turning over the Dogs on a couple occasions here.
3 early turnovers for Auburn, a team that only averages 5 turnovers per game, and now a foul called as Ryan Guenther goes up with it and gets fouled.
Yeah, and that's something that Gothenburg's going to be battling throughout this game. The Auburn Bulldogs do have a little bit of a length advantage.
Our first quarter brought to you in part by Yankton Medical Clinic. At Yankton Medical Clinic, Norfolk, we are building a legacy, one patient at a time, one generation at a time. From family practice to expert specialists, we're here for you today and every day. Second one up, Guenther sinks 1 of 2. And it's a 8-6 Auburn lead, 3:23 remaining first quarter. Brian Palmer passes it to Blake Swanson. Ball down to the right side with a basketball up in the lane. That one off the mark, and the rebound secured by Guenther.
Not a bad move.
Guenther to Wenzel. Wanted to pull the transition 3, but he didn't have the look. Defense closed in by Gothenburg. Creighton Keeling to Wenzel. Takes the contested 3, missed it just a bit strong, and Kash Koehn, a sophomore, with the defensive rebound.
And the zone defense holds one more time for the Swedes.
Auburn got out to a 7-0 lead. A bucket here could tie it. Doing just that, the baseline floater. Bryson Niels with 4 points in the early going, and we are deadlocked at 8.
Okay, Mr. Niels, the sophomore with those long strides getting to the rack.
Interesting point about Bryson Niels. He's the leading scorer for Gothenburg at 10.2 points per game, but he comes off the bench. That's a luxury.
It really is, and it speaks to just how versatile, but more importantly, balanced this offense is.
Auburn looking to snatch the lead back. Open look for Carson Levine. Missed the 3, airballed it. Will go down as an assist. I bet that's what he was thinking all the way as Palmer puts it up and in.
Hey, we're charitable scorekeepers here. We'll give him the assist.
Well, it's his first of the game. In the corner. Looking to answer was Ehlers, and he missed the 3, and the rebound secured by Guenther.
Guenther already with 3 boards.
Creighton Keeling to Wenzel in transition. That's his favorite type of three-point look. Wenzel, a 44% three-point shooter. Gets past Brian Palmer.
Just love what the zone defense is doing right now.
The Swedes force another Auburn turnover here. Their 3rd of the ball game in the early going.
Just doing an excellent job of taking away that first option from the Auburn Bulldogs.
Ehlers dished it off to Boone Cedarman. His pass intercepted. He didn't feel Ryan Guenther on his backside. Guenther going back the other way, missed the lay-in. And here come the Swedes looking to get out and run. A slow pass to Niels, who slices his way through the defense and steps in for 2.
His ability to stop and go. My goodness, to step through a couple of defenders.
Clapping his hands defensively, Bryson Niels. We're tied at 10 points. 40 seconds to go here in the first. Carson Levine swung it to his right. Back over to the left side. A 3 in and out for Levine. Offensive rebound. Somehow Creighton Keeling comes up with it.
That's a senior crashing the boards.
Drop pass inside. Back out to Keeling. Looking for 3. Oops. 3 missed three-point looks for the Bulldogs on this possession, and Guenther gets tripped up. Ehlers with a foul, and he'll help him to his feet.
Yeah, that's good sportsmanship right there. A couple of guys going after that long rebound. Bulldogs going to get another crack at it here with just over 15 seconds left.
It's the first foul of the ball game for Gothenburg. Couple of substitutions. Axel Jorgensen, Kingston Kane back into the ball game. It's a couple of starters.
A couple of fresh bodies in there to try and close this thing out defensively for the Swedes, which has been an inspired defensive effort thus far.
15 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, and I think it would be fair to say Auburn's going to try to hold it for the final shot. Rare you're going to see Auburn take, maybe other than a transition three by Brenton Wenzel, a shot before their 15 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, they had success early working it into their lengthy guys, in Guenther and Brian Palmer. Maybe they look back to that here.
See what they do. They do add a little bit of time to the clock here. It's up to 16.8.
Okay, and Swanson's going to check in. He's got good length as well at 6'4".
The inbound by Palmer. He flips it into Brenton Wenzel, who nearly got fouled by Bryson Niels. Final 10 seconds of the first quarter, tied at 10. Wenzel, spin moves up top, backs it out, works around a couple of pump fakes, throws up the three, left it well short, and the putback at the horn, well high off the glass by Carson Levine, and we are tied at 10 at the end of one. A good one shaping up in the 6-3 matchup, our final of the day in Class C1. Getting out and running, the Gothenburg Swedes looking to run to a semifinal win, but Brenton Wenzel began the game with 3.
The Seed House, located in O'Neill, is your Nebraska-owned full-service seed supplier. From corn and soybeans to cover crops, grass seed, and CRP grasses, they have the full lineup to fit your operation. The Seed House also offers agronomy services, seed treatment, soil fertility guidance, and expert crop recommendations tailored to your acres. When it comes to growing success from the ground up, trust local experience. Contact Don and the crew at the Seed House, located in O'Neill, Nebraska, and plant with confidence this season.
I'm Nicole Eccles. I live at Scotia, Nebraska. When I was in college, I ended up getting pregnant, and the people that I had taught me about pro-life were the first ones to tell me it was going to ruin my life. I chose to keep my daughter. My religious community was very supportive as far as helping me become what I wanted to become. She is 30, and I have 2 grandsons, and they make my life very, very happy.
Pregnant and unsure where to turn? Contact Christian Family Care, cfcare.org.
Welcome back to the Bob Devaney Sports Center, John Cook Arena. He's Andy Klassen. I'm Jake Bartecki. Pat Jansen on the sidelines. Good game, Andy. Tied at 10 here as we begin the second.
Really has been. Number 4, Kash Koehn was money there to close that thing up defensively, knowing that Wenzel was looking for that three-point shot.
And here is Kingston Kane, top of the key, unable to hit the 3. The rebound collected by Wenzel, and he'll play point guard in this possession for the Bulldogs. Brenton Wenzel, 3 points and a rebound in that first quarter. He hit Auburn's and the game's only three-pointer. Wenzel to Creighton Keeling. Shot clock down to 12 as Wenzel attacks and a beautiful dish inside. Ryan Guenther to put the Bulldogs up by 2.
Loses the handle, but then regathers himself the no-look pass. Wow.
Axel Jorgensen, the senior, 5 points, 2.4 rebounds per game. Dished it off to Bryson Niels. 6 points, 7 rebounds. The district final against Donovan Trumbull. He flipped one to the corner, and a foul called here against Auburn. Ryan Guenther hit with his second of the game. He's already got 5 points and 4 rebounds.
Guenther does such a good job when he's out on the perimeter like that, peeling off and creating turnovers. You saw that earlier in that first quarter, that time drawing the whistle.
Kingston Kane backs down a defender and flips one to the top of the key. Bryson Niels with the bullseye straight away.
Niels has come to play. He got a first couple of those run-out layups to go through traffic. Now he's feeling it.
Got a dozen here in the early going. 13-12 in favor of Gothenburg. Ball bounce left side. Wenzel stops in the middle of the lane, throws one up, and he tried to bank that one in and put it up too strong. Bodies everywhere, and now out running down the floor. Loose is Kane. He lays one up, and he traveled with it as he flew out of bounds.
Yeah, one too many steps there. Right idea, trying to run, but great recovery defense. Oh, yeah, there's an extra step.
There was indeed. You see that on our instant replay, brought to you in part by the Lincoln Airport. Fly easy, fly local, fly LNK. Book now at LincolnAirport.com. Ryan Guenther inside, adds 2 more.
And the Bulldogs take the lead back.
Back and forth we go here. Again, Auburn jumped out to a 7-0 advantage. Momentum really swung to Gothenburg from that point. 3-pointer well short by Niels. Might have been an early heat check there, and Guenther going to try to take advantage on the other end. Wenzel, wide open. Misses that one. A rare wide open miss for Brenton Wenzel, and slow getting back up on the play was Creighton Keeling.
Looks like he's okay now.
5:35 to go here in the second. 14-13 Auburn with the lead.
This is a good reset here for the Gothenburg offense.
Kingston Koehn swings one right to Jorgensen. 2 points, 2 rebounds in the district final against Donovan Trumbull. Back out to Koehn. Missed that 3 badly. And Creighton Keeling says thank you very much as he's right there for the rebound. Wenzel swung it to his right to Keeling. Wenzel to Guenther. An open look from 3, but passing on that one was Carson Levine. Auburn 1 of 7 from 3. Gothenburg 1 of 8. Looking to change that. Levine missed his last one, misses this one as well. Now it's Wenzel who will try one. Nobody can make a 3. And the rebound tied up down low, and a jump ball called as Keeling and Tiedemann hit the deck physically.
Yeah, and then afterwards, Keeling wouldn't let go of the ball. A little bit of a scrum there afterwards. Officials rushing in saying, guys, cool it. It's just a jump ball.
Just shows how much this game means to these two squads. Gothenburg obviously would love to be the Cinderella. We haven't seen an upset yet today in C1. Clean up a little debris from the floor there. Our second quarter today brought to you in part by John Henry's, our family serving yours. Second quarter scoring breakdown. Auburn leads 4-3 in the frame. They lead the game by 1. We're tied at 10 after the first. Brenton Wenzel splits the defense. Doesn't have the angle on the shot. And now the ball taken down by Axel Jorgensen with a lot of contact. Kingston Koehn, pass it to his right to Boone Tiedemann.
And this is a welcome sign here for Gothenburg. They're working their tails off on defense, rest on offense, right? And it's kind of how their offensive sets kind of serve them with the 4 out, 1 in type of a base offense that they like to operate through.
Creighton Keeling charged with a reach in there, looking up at the replay. That's what he's seeing on the scoreboard right now. It's his first of the game. Comes about halfway through the second quarter.
I like the aggressive nature, but if it wasn't a reach, and he actually got him with the body.
Kingston Koehn turned around by Guenther in the paint. 3-ball up. This one way off the mark by Landon Marajic. Offensive rebound and a fresh shot clock for the Swedes.
You know, at times it feels like both teams kind of settle for that 3-point shot.
Neither one has had much success. Combined 2 of 18 from beyond the arc, and Gothenburg with a walk there by Braden Ehlers. 4 turnovers now for Gothenburg, 3 for Auburn here in the first half.
Yeah, I think you can really credit the defensive efforts by both teams. Bulldogs getting after you, man-to-man defense. Swedes, that 2-3 zone has been doing the trick thus far.
Jarred the ball away from Guenther inside. It's probably part of the reason we've seen 10 3-point attempts from Auburn here in the first half.
Gothenburg really, they are making an effort to pack it in inside. They know they're giving up some length, some size.
Auburn, not a bad 3-point shooting team. One of the better ones in C1, as a matter of fact, at 41%. And that one spins out on Brenton Wenzel, Andy Klassen. There's just a lid on the basket right now for both squads.
It feels that way. I mean, good look there. Extra pass.
Auburn is 0 of their last 5 from the field, and it's a scoring drought of 4 minutes for Gothenburg that now continues after the missed 3-pointer by Tiedemann. Now the ball at the baseline. Jump ball call. This will stay with the Swedes. Stick around for our halftime show, brought to you in part by Custom Sports as well as RMV Construction and Nebraska Farm Bureau.
A nice little substitution there, a couple of offensive threats. Kash Koehn, and of course we mentioned him, Bryson Niels enter into the game during that dead ball.
On the top of the key for Braden Ehlers. Ehlers drops one inside. Back out to the wing. This is Kash Koehn with it. Niels passes on the three, passes it back to Marajic. He rattles it home. Finally, somebody makes a field goal, and it's a three-pointer.
Fantastic job by Niels, drawing multiple defenders in. Knew he had that outlet pass the whole time.
Three-pointer gives Gothenburg their second lead of the day. They have not led by more than this exact margin of 2. Levine to Guenther. The zone again effective here for Gothenburg. A three by Levine, way off the mark, and a putback. Keeling can't get the shot to go. Palmer puts it back up. He can't get the shot to go. Guenther grabs the rebound, and he drops it out of bounds. It's going to Gothenburg.
I mean, you can see Gothenburg, they're kind of outmatched as far as length and size, but they continue to grind and get after the Bulldogs. Defense holds one more time.
Auburn, a team that shoots at a 52% this season, is 6 of 24 in this first half.
Yeah, what an effort. I'm really looking at Gothenburg and their defensive effort, especially through that zone, impacting the shooting percentage of Auburn.
Pass to the top of the key for Niels. Niels drives, got blocked. Brian Palmer got his arms up high to swat it away. Guenther drives it up the floor, tried to spin in the lane and coughed it up.
That's a couple of times now where Koehn has made a defensive play.
Gothenburg with a 2-point lead. Minute remaining. Coming up on a minute remaining here in this first half.
It was one of the very first runouts of the game. Guenther was able to kind of spin around and lay one in. What an adjustment from Koehn, taking that option away.
Kingston Koehn drives in the lefty layup, too strong. And with 50 seconds more or less to go here in the first half, Brenton Wenzel will walk it up the floor.
Yeah, I don't think much is going to hurry up the Bulldogs here. They are who they are, and they play with a lot of patience on the offensive end.
Brayton Keeling to Levine for three. He misses another. Levine 0 of 6 from beyond the arc.
My goodness.
And a rebound secured by Marajic. Just tenacious on the defensive glass the Swedes have been in this first half.
I mean, but they're playing with fire. A little putback there. That's usually automatic for Palmer.
Final 20 seconds of this first half.
We'll have you check that rim at halftime, Jake, to see if there really is a lid on there.
I'll go over, yeah. I'll climb up on a ladder if I have to. We have seen struggles for Auburn shooting in this first half, just 22%. Final seconds of the second quarter. Spin move in the lane. Kingston Koehn can't get the shot to go. Keeling lost the basketball as Palmer flipped it to him. Both were looking at the clock, and it brings us to the end of the first half. We have yet to see an upset today in Class C1, and Gothenburg, the 6th seed, leading the 3-seed Bulldogs at the break.
Just a really nice balance of shooting outside, knocking down a couple of timely threes, and then the drives like that from Neely are drawing a lot of attention.
16-14, Swedes over the Bulldogs. Coming up on our halftime show, which is brought to you by Nebraska Farm Bureau and RMV Construction. We'll check in with our own Pat Jansen, who's been working the sidelines. We'll also get a look at our first half stats, highlights, much more. Don't go anywhere.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Family Physical Therapy and Sports Center, getting you back in the game. Ignite the fire and find peace. And by The Seed House in O'Neill, Nebraska, a seed for every need.
Darling, I believe everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry, cause you got somebody on your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do. Just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
We got your back.
Our communities are built through stories of connection, hard work, and bright futures. You're committed to this place, and so are we. By supporting your dreams and by celebrating your stories, Bank of the Valley has grown alongside you through 40 years of going further together. We're building lasting relationships and a legacy of success. We're in this together, and together we go further.
This is Lauren from St. Mary's in O'Neill. Life moves quickly and it's easy to feel overwhelmed.
This is Anna from St. Mary's in O'Neill. Faith gives us a strong foundation when life feels uncertain.
It helps us slow down, listen, and remember what truly matters. It reminds us that even in difficult moments, God is always present.
And faith isn't just for Sunday. It's meant for everyday living.
If you're searching or have questions, reach out to your local pastor or priest and start the conversation.
Well, we haven't seen an upset yet in Class C1 today. Been chalk all across the board, but Gothenburg with a 2-point lead at the break, 16-14. Andy Klassen, Jake Bartecki here. Auburn, Andy, a team that really shoots it at a high clip this season, 52%, because they do a lot of that work in the paint. But today, just 22% at the break. That zone defense for the Swedes giving them a lot of problems.
Took me right where I wanted to go. That 2-3 zone is really packing it in and daring Auburn to shoot that three. They've knocked down a couple, but more times than not, we've seen a lot of shots rim out, and some of those are right at the rack. Kind of unexplainable. Credit Gothenburg for adjusting their defense and getting a lot of help down around the rim.
Yeah, 3 of 22 combined right now between Gothenburg and Auburn from beyond the arc. What do you credit that to? Is it just an off day for both squads? Is it, we always talk about the adjustment to the Devaney Center.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of adjustment there, and if I'm Auburn, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here. You got to think the averages are going to come back around, and their shooting will heat up. If I'm Gothenburg, I'm loving what I'm seeing with multiple scores getting involved. You mentioned Neely coming off the bench, a couple of huge plays, getting to the rim, and then he's kicking out and getting others involved as well.
And there you see an expanded look at the first half stats. We're just talking about the three-point shooting. Auburn 1 of 12, the only make by Brenton Wenzel. And then Gothenburg 2 of 10. The low field goal percentage, really for both sides. Auburn's just surprising because they've shot it so well this season. And Gothenburg hanging around with Auburn and their size on the glass.
You kind of expect that when you face off against the Jim Weeks Auburn Bulldog team that, okay, they're going to get after us defensively in their man-to-man and have plenty of guys to kind of rotating and keep that defensive pressure up. Credit Gothenburg for hanging in there, taking that early first punch, and then delivering a punch of their own, taking the lead into this halftime break.
16-14 the score at the break. Let's show you how we got there. A low-scoring affair, but we do have highlights we want to show you. Those are brought to you in part by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Again, Gothenburg 20-6 on the season. Auburn 24-1. We talked about the only three-point make of the half for the Bulldogs. That was it there by Brenton Wenzel.
Yeah, and just kind of back and forth working around the perimeter, and Bulldogs taking advantage.
Kingston Kane, nice move in the lane, and then Bryson Neals, leading scorer this season for Gothenburg, 10 points per game, but he comes off the bench, Andy. That's a little different, isn't it?
Swedes getting on the open court. That was a welcome sign for all the fans from the Gothenburg area.
And it's sure a nice problem to have when your leading scorer comes off the bench. Bench mob type stuff. Missed three-pointer, but there to clean up the garbage was Brian Palmer for the Bulldogs. Back the other way, Neals again. Neals having a really nice game here, Andy.
So good with that hesitation move at the rim. We saw that a couple of times.
Straight away three. Neals knocks down another. He has had quite the game so far today. Auburn struggling to score in this one. Bryson Neals takes advantage, drives in. Everybody attacked on him. Kicked it out to Maracek for three. Neals with 9 points in the ball game. He has 9 of the 16 at the break right now for the Swedes. We will step aside. We'll check in with Pat Jansen after this.
Gothenburg on top of Auburn at the break. And we're now joined by someone who lives in Gretna, but who played a little high school basketball for Auburn, 10-year NFL veteran Chris Kelsey, here watching his nephew, Brenton Wenzel. What's it like being on this end of it now?
It's fun, you know. Got kids of my own. Obviously, I have two that are in high school currently at Gretna East. We're going to be at that game later this evening, but thought it worked out perfect. You know, Brenton has a game early. Get to watch my alma mater, cheer on the Bulldogs, hopefully get a win here this afternoon, and then go cheer on Gretna East Griffins to hopefully get their first win of the state tournament.
Now, you were pretty powerful in the paint. Brenton, meanwhile, firing up a lot of three-pointers. Where do you pick that up from?
I don't know. I'd like to say her sister. I definitely won't say his dad, but no, Brenton's come a long ways. He's taken a love to the game. Obviously plays other sports, football being one of them, which is near and dear to my heart, obviously. But basketball's always been his thing, always been his sport. And with Coach Weeks, you know, it's a year-round sport down there. So the hard work and all the time that he's dedicated to the sport's obviously paying off. Here's a senior in the state tournament.
Now, before you went to play for the Huskers and played in a Rose Bowl and then eventually 10 years with the Buffalo Bills, you did play a lot of basketball with Auburn. And, in fact, you were on the team that had the best winning percentage in Auburn history up until 2019. What's it been like to see this evolution of Auburn basketball?
You know, I was thinking about that the other night. A couple weeks ago, we went down to watch the Bulldogs play Lincoln Lutheran on senior night. And I remember Kevin Mallory and a couple guys that were ref, and I was like, when I was in school, that was the last class to make it to the state tournament. And now what Coach Weeks and you know, Auburn Bulldogs have done in recent years have blown that out of the water. They're a fixture here at the state tournament. So it was awesome to see them get back. But, you know, basketball was actually my first true love. I thought I was going to play college basketball well before I ever played football. Obviously, things changed as I got bigger, and you know, football was kind of my calling, and you know, made a living out of it. But absolutely, basketball has always been near and dear to my heart as well, and something that I still enjoy watching, especially when it's a family member.
Meanwhile, you're on the sidelines coaching in the fall for Gretna East, making a state championship game this past year. What's that experience been like for you?
It's been a blast. You know, my son's a freshman. I started coaching those kids, him and his buddies, since they were in flag football, really, all through youth. And Coach Haberman asked me to be on his staff, and it gives me an opportunity to see those boys at least through their senior year. Maybe beyond that, we'll see what happens, you know, after they graduate. But it's just been a blessing to be able to develop these kids and to see them have success and to make it to a state championship in only our third year as a program was really special. You know, these kids, they really don't know what they don't know. They've bought into our culture. They'll do whatever we ask them to, and they play hard for one another. And when you have a team with chemistry like that and a staff like we have that are just so cohesive, it's really, really fun and special to be a part of.
Predictions for the second half?
All I care about is a W.
Well, Chris, thanks a lot. Get back to your family. Good talking to you. Let's take another break. Back with more basketball after this.
Kearney, Nebraska is the getaway you never knew you needed. With comfortable, premium lodging, eclectic shopping, and a variety of locally owned craft food and drink options, Kearney has something for everyone. By day, you'll find rich history, outdoor adventure, and some of America's most unique attractions. And by night, our many entertainment options, dazzling performances, and unique hangouts offer the perfect way to unwind. Visit Kearney. It's so much more than just in the middle.
Hello, this is Greg from Family Physical Therapy. We've grown a lot since we opened our doors in 1993, but our philosophy remains to provide excellent patient care above all else. Our patients are greeted with smiles, and our therapists are driven by their patients' success and achieving goals. We provide physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy to those of all ages. Family Physical Therapy has locations across Nebraska. Stop by a clinic near you today.
Anne has been a long-time UBT customer. One day, she was being scammed. We secured her funds and got her set up with new accounts. I just think, if my grandma was in that situation, what would I want someone to do for her?
I hope he doesn't mind that I give him a hug, too.
Halftime show is brought to you by RMV Construction. If you have a construction project that needs built, RMV Construction is the company you need to call. RMV has proudly constructed more than 50 WIC buildings across the state, including this one on your screen, north of Amherst. WIC buildings are post-framed, pre-engineered metal building systems made with better materials for a better building. RMV Construction will help you expand your ag operation, create your next barn dominium, or develop commercial space by constructing a WIC building with unmatched durability, energy efficiency, and design flexibility. RMV Construction with offices in Kearney and Lincoln. Trusted, local, proven. Check in with Pat Jansen once again.
Guys, Gothenburg and Auburn have never played basketball, not just in the state tournament, but ever. But Gothenburg assistant coach Tony Neal says that he keeps a burning passion of animosity toward Auburn. He was on the 1998 Syracuse team that eliminated the very Chris Kelsey from sub-districts that we just talked to. Auburn at that point had the winningest season that they had ever had. Coach Neal says his son Bryson is a more talented version of him, but he's hoping he's a chip off the block and knocks off Auburn today. Guys, let's start the second half.
All right, thank you, Pat. A burning passion towards Auburn. How about that?
Well,
that's what you want to hear if you're the coach.
It's the time for passion to kind of bleed through. We're at the state tournament.
No doubt. And it is a 2-point lead for Gothenburg. We have our first upset of the day at the Devaney Center. Good start here to tie the game. Ryan Guenther off a beautiful feed lays it in for 2.
Yeah, right away Auburn gets into an offensive set. They obviously drew up during the break.
Guenther with 9 points in the ball game, 9 of the 16 for Auburn. Up faking in the lane. Yep. Jorgensen gets fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Nice ball fake there, getting multiple defenders up in the air. It wasn't the cleanest drive, but Koehn finally does get it in there and finds an outlet, number 1-3, Axel Jorgensen.
The foul was the second of the game for Guenther, so he gets the bucket to start the second half, and then the foul on the other end. And Jorgensen, a free throw shooter of 61%, rims in the first.
That's a good answer for the Swedes, getting right back to the rim.
Second one by the righty shooter is good. And Gothenburg gets those 2 points back, and they go back in front.
Okay, then a little faux pressure, falling back into that zone defense, not allowing Auburn to just walk the ball up.
Brenton Wenzel, one dribble, and he swung it back to his left to Creighton Keeling. Keeling's been quiet today, scoreless, matter of fact. Wenzel from the corner knocks down just the second triple of the game for Auburn. He has them both, and the Bulldogs regain the lead.
Well, we talked about that during the break, that, these averages got to get kind of closer or back to that medium. And you got to think if there is a team that's not going to press or feel too much pressure, it's Auburn. They've been here a number of times.
Bulldogs 41% from 3 this season. And they're shooting right around there in the postseason as well. Jump shot from the elbow off the mark for Kingston Koehn. And Auburn looking to build on the 1-point lead. Ryan Guenther to his right. Keeling still looking for his first points of the ball game.
Boy, Jorgensen's working his tail off underneath there, trying to deny that entry pass into the post.
He's doing a nice job guarding Brian Palmer, the 6'5", 183-pounder. Shot clock into single digits. Wenzel, why not? Misses this one short, and Ray Nealers watches this one roll into the corner out of bounds.
Boy, that was so deep. Once again, credit the Swedes, right? Being disruptors on the defensive end.
I think that's been the most impressive part of the game to me, is how Kent Koehn has had his team locked in defensively.
Yeah, exactly. Great communication. You're seeing the backcourt always pointing and hollering out directions, orders, which you need to have if you're going to try and stay in a zone.
Kingston Koehn guarded by Wenzel, and Brenton Wenzel was able to disrupt the ball free and get the steal. It was touched out of bounds by Kingston Koehn.
Oh, there's no sleeping on the offensive end. Bulldogs are going to stay on you in that man-to-man D.
Wenzel walks it up the floor with 6 points, both of them from beyond the arc, and he's hit the only 2 of 10 3-point attempts today for the Bulldogs. Brian Palmer, the 6'5", 180-pounder, missed it in the lane, and the offensive rebound by Keeling. Throws it back to his right. Levine tries the 3, spins it around, and it doesn't go. Keeling collects the rebound. Wenzel decides to pass on a good look from three. And they'll set up the offense with the Bulldogs.
Gothenburg got that first rebound. Keeling, as soon as that ball got brought down to his level, he was able to snatch it away.
Guenther faked right and cut left. Worked his way around Kingston Koehn. Ryan Guenther into double figures.
He's got to run over and thank his buddy Keeling for giving them 2 additional looks.
21st game this season out of 26 in double figures for Ryan Guenther, the leading scorer for Jim Weeks' Bulldogs. Ehlers slams the gas, drives in, and Wenzel fouled him. A late whistle, but it's free throws for the Swedes.
Fantastic job by Ehlers, taking full advantage of the one-on-one scenario. Put his head down, got to the rim, going hard with that right hand on the right side.
Ehlers, a 74% free throw shooter. That's the best clip of anybody on Gothenburg, and chance to end a scoring drought of over 2.5 minutes. First free throw is good.
That's not that bad of a scoring drought as we've seen throughout the tournament, especially when you're matched up with a Jim Weeks style of defense where you know it's going to be man-to-man, on-ball pressure coming at you 24/7.
Not the worst of droughts, but a drought ended nonetheless. Second free throw good for Ehlers. Couple of new bodies in off the bench. Niels back in along with Evan Johnson for Gothenburg.
Gothenburg's been doing a great job of answering the Bulldogs when they do try to go on a run.
Creighton Keeling to Wenzel. Drives to the free throw line, backs it out. 1-point game. Largest lead for either side is 7, and that's when Auburn got out to a big 7-0 advantage. And Brian Palmer, good recognition to work around the defense and get to the basket.
Yeah, he was able to get Kash Koehn on that left hip and then spin back, knew where he was the entire way for that lay-in.
Bryson Niels, leading scorer for Gothenburg today and this season, drops it off. Marashik drives in. He got blocked, stays with the play, and he can't keep the basketball. Wenzel grabs it, calls the timeout. Do they call the jump ball or award the timeout? Looks like they gave the timeout to the Bulldogs. We'll take one with them. Auburn off to a good start here in the second half. They've regained the lead, and they lead it by 3. Hustle plays all over the floor here in the North Bottoms.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Auto Central in Kearney. From cost-effective daily drivers to luxury cars that match your style, Auto Central is sure to have the ride you're looking for. Ignite the fire and find peace. And by Union Bank and Trust. Your money has people.
My family's been farming since the early 1900s, and it's still where we like to call home. I get to go out to the field. I get to see farmers. When they have someone that actually experienced it, they're more willing to open up and talk to you a lot more. They just kind of become a part of you.
Ryan Guenther's really been doing it all here all game long, but particularly in this second half, Andy. He's already got 4 points in the third quarter, 11 for the game, hunting another double-double.
Yeah, just a fantastic job of being aware on offense, and you kind of feel it when there's a hiccup or things aren't really working smoothly. Just get the ball to number 1. Let Guenther create.
His only double-double of his career came in this season's season opener against Malcolm at 19 points, 13 rebounds. He's got 11 and 7 right now. Important numbers on the scoreboard, though. Auburn 23, Gothenburg 20 in the later half of the third quarter. Palmer partially blocked. Keeling grabs the rebound and throws it back out to Brian Palmer or to Brenton Wenzel up top.
Keeling is so good working that offensive glass.
And then a steal inside. Ehlers ripped it away from Wenzel, leads it up the floor. Niels up fakes once, twice, and kicks it out to Marachik for 3. Won't go, and Palmer grabs the rebound.
Bulldogs dodged a bullet on that occasion. What a play from Ehlers, snatching it away from Wenzel.
No doubt, that would have tied the game. Wenzel to his right. Guenther, hot pass. Keeling scoreless today. Hands it off to Wenzel. He's just been hunting the 3, Andy.
He really has.
So his only points of the ball game have come from beyond the arc. Also the only 3-point makes for Auburn. Palmer back to Wenzel. One dribble, and he takes a contested 3. He was looking for contact. Ball goes out of bounds. And the shot clock was at 0 either way, so a win for the Swedes no matter what.
What a defensive stand. My goodness.
Again, we've highlighted it today. This defense that Gothenburg has put on average, allowing 45 points per game, but it's been a clinic today against the Bulldogs.
You know, and they're daring that outside shot, but it's a contested shot. You said that exactly right. It's not like they're just giving up on, not running shooters off the three-point line.
Kingston Koehn getting a little too unselfish there. Had a lane to the basket, tried to drop it off to Jorgensen, and must turned it over.
Well, when you have 7 or 8 guys averaging around 10 points, you're going to have that every now and then.
Missed 3, and Niels goes way high for the rebound. Up the floor, Koehn spin moves, throws it up and got blocked. Ball loose, secured by Levine for the Bulldogs.
That's happened a couple of times where Palmer comes out of nowhere and with that length is able to swat that shot away.
Ryan Guenther back to Wenzel. Again, Wenzel was trying to set his feet for the three-point look. Wasn't there. Palmer got behind Jorgensen, and now he's double-teamed, drops it off to Guenther, who gets fouled, and he'll go to the line for a couple of free throws. Guenther at the line today, 1 of 2.
Koehn did not want to foul there. He was trying not to, but got him with the body. Number 4 in the orange shoes. Well, it looks like it got him on the arm.
Either way, it's free throws for Guenther. Gothenburg today at the line. Auburn today at the line, 1 of 3, and the first one goes down for Guenther. Makes this a 4-point game. Second one up. Missed that one, and the rebound secured by Keeling.
His foes on the line.
Stepped out of bounds with it. Hustle play, though, by 23 for Auburn.
He's had about 3 or 4 offensive rebounds in this third quarter alone, has Keeling.
Gothenburg, when they won their district final against Doniphan Trouble, won the rebounding battle 30-17. Right now being out-rebounded 27-19 by the Bulldogs. Might have to see some second-chance points and offensive rebounds down the stretch here.
Oh, in and out.
Koehn grabs the rebound, and then trying to pull it back away was a Swede. And they catch a foul here on Axel Jorgensen.
It's going to be his second. He's got to keep himself out of foul trouble because he's doing such a good job protecting the rim on the defensive end for the Swedes.
And that was a 50-50 call. He nearly had that ball taken away, and he had Kash Koehn there ready for 2 points.
Yeah, I thought since he was going up with his arm and not down that you might save the whistle there. Not the case.
Points coming at a premium here in our 3-6 matchup. Final game of the day in C1. Creighton Keeling can't connect. Up the near sideline with the basketball is Ehlers. Went back out to Jorgensen for 3, and now a push-off going for the rebound and a foul on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Levine just got his body a little too much into Koehn there with the putback. So that was in transition, Jake. Working the ball inside, quick with the kick out before the defense could get out there. That's just a nice sequence there from the Swedes.
Levine with his just first foul of the game, and the free throw by Kash Koehn is good.
Gothenburg's hanging right in there.
This to make it a 2-point game. Second free throw. That one off the mark, and Guenther with the rebound in the middle of the paint. Across the timeline, it's Wenzel. Backs it out and passes it off to Creighton Keeling. 18-second differential between shot and games clocks. Really no need to think about that here. Wenzel hunting the 3. Has the ball poked free on the backside. The pass up floor for Niels. Keeling in pursuit, but he's too late. Two-hand jam for Bryson Niels.
My goodness. The decision to just elevate and slam it, that fired up the crowd, let me tell you.
1-point game at the Devaney Center. Final 15 seconds of quarter number 3. 24-23 Auburn. A trip to the semifinal and a date with the Blue Jays on the line. Creighton Keeling out of the corner. Scoreless today until now. knocks in the three, and he shushes the crowd down the floor. 27-23 Auburn.
What an adjustment from the Bulldogs. This place is on fire. Gothenburg slides it to a 1-3-1 zone. Right away, Auburn drains the clock, knows what they got. That corner three, and Keeling takes full advantage.
Niels with the jam, but on the other end, it's Creighton Keeling with the three-pointer to send us to the fourth quarter. Auburn leads by 4, 27-23.
My name is Andrina, and his name is Asaya. I am an international student from Malawi. When I got here, I was in a relationship, and we found out that I was pregnant. So I chose life, and that's a really good thing in my life, because then God also did great things. And yeah, we're making it in life together.
Pregnant and unsure where to turn? Contact Christian Family Care, cfcare.org.
Ashoff Construction of Osmond does it all when it comes to general contracting. From agricultural storage buildings to commercial office buildings, retail warehouses to concrete contracting. The HEI Sentinel buildings help safeguard crops and valuable assets, and Ashoff's professional builders handle the job from the design through the completion of the build. For a free estimate, contact Dylan Price, Scott Pullman, or Brandon Ruge. Call 402-748-3551 today. Visit AshoffConstruction.com for more information.
What a game we have shaping up here. We've got 8 minutes to decide the semifinals of Class C1. 27-23 Auburn with the lead. My name is Jake Bartecki, joined by Andy Klassen. Pat Jansen working the sidelines here at John Cook Arena at the Devaney Center. Andy, what do you expect here for this fourth quarter?
You can feel it that it's probably going to come down to the last shot. That's just the style of the game. Swedes are doing a heck of a job matching the intensity from the Auburn Bulldogs.
Bryson Niels hesitated on the three, instead dropped it off inside, and that allowed Maracek to drive to the basket and get fouled.
And right there, I love that coming out of the break, because they haven't had a lot of success down low. Has Gothenburg. The trees, the bigs, the talls for Auburn have been able to defend that rim, but they're relentless. Gothenburg keeps attacking that rim, this time getting themselves to the foul line.
Maracek, a 68% free throw shooter. His first trip to the line today, misses that one back iron. Maracek had a good postseason, 7.6 points, 2.3 rebounds per game, and he had a particularly good district final against Donovan Trumbull with 14.
That was just a gutsy performance across the board, able to take care of business against a really gritty, tough team in Donovan Trumbull.
And they scored the last 9 points of the game, did Gothenburg.
As they say, that's winning time, right? Closing out a game like that.
With the second free throw down, it's a 1-point game. Winning time here. It feels like it's been winning time all game long. This one's been closely contested ever since Auburn jumped out to a 7-0 lead. Brayan Palmer double teamed, and he dribbled it off his foot, but they'll say it's Auburn basketball.
Auburn trying to dial something up to kind of find a crease in this zone defense.
Ooh. Saw it off the left foot of Big Palmer there. Throw this one all the way back into the backcourt for Creighton Keeling.
Didn't reset the shot clock, though. We're under 10.
Right where Auburn loves to take their shots. Late in the shot clock. Pass deflected down. Back out to Wenzel. He'll have to try to draw a foul on the three. Nearly banks that one in.
Love the no call there. Love the no call there. As it appeared, Wenzel was looking for the foul, shooting into the defender. Leaning into that defender throughout his shot.
Tiedemann down inside. Right block. Maracek drives in. And Gothenburg is within one.
What a move. What a move, spinning back door, getting away from that defender, creating some space.
Maracek's first field goal of the second half, and it's a 1-point game with 6.5 to go.
Ooh, in and out.
Wenzel missed the three. Palmer with the putback and the foul will go to the line.
Landon Maracek, who just had a nice offensive play. I think he's going to get whistled here for the little reach-in foul.
Boy, oh boy. Palmer just in the right spot, Andy, and then recognition of the contact.
That's the toughest part of playing a zone defense, Jake, is when the shot goes up, you got to find a body and you got to box out. You got to stay with those fundamentals. Auburn's doing a really good job throughout the course of this game on the offensive rebounding.
They've been able to speed up Gothenburg at times as well. Free throw off the mark. Palmer couldn't hit the three-point play. And Gothenburg can make this a 1-point game or tie it with a 3. 2 of 13 from beyond the arc. Far corner with the basketball is Kash Koehn.
Good movement away from the ball here for the Swedes as they're taking their time.
Neal's back to his right. The 3-ball up and good. We're tied at the Devaney Center.
That just had
from Kash Koehn.
That just had a really good flow to it the entire way. Neely threatens, kicks out. Kash money from beyond the arc.
I like that one better. Trayton Keeling's only points of the game were a 3-pointer to end the third quarter. Ryan Guenther, game's leading scorer with a dozen. This 3 a little strong from the corner. Rebound loose off of Palmer, and it's going to the Gothenburg Swedes.
Great hustle there from Wenzel. Thought he saved it. Must have been a little bit out of bounds when he tried to jump up and throw that ball off of a Gothenburg player.
Our fourth quarter today has been brought to you in part by National Land Realty. Find land for sale at nationalland.com. Tied at 29 with 5:33 to go in regulation. A great one shaping up here at the Devaney Center.
It's the Declaration of Deal sales event. Head to William Crowder Company in O'Neill, your trusted Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealership with the selection you want and the service you deserve. From powerful new Ram trucks to adventurous Jeeps and family-ready SUVs. William Crowder Company is also your local marine center, featuring Lund boats built for fishing, fun, and making memories on the water, with several options for the serious fisherman or woman. William Crowder Company in O'Neill. Drive it, tow it, boat it, and love it.
So great to have you along for the ride. Student section showing out here at the Devaney Center. The crowds today have been stellar.
They really have been. You got to love this in a USA theme, and you also got hunting. Now a lot of animals over there for Auburn running around. And saw the giraffe in the backdrop.
How was the hunting season for you this past year?
Fantastic, like it is every year. Just getting out in the woods is the best part.
That's part of being in Nebraska, and we all love it. Well, I love what we're seeing here as well. Tie game. Not for long. Boom! Tiedemann knocks down the 3.
And you hear the loud roar, boom, from all the crowd from Gothenburg.
It's his first points of the game, but none bigger than anyone has scored by Gothenburg yet.
Love that out of the break. That quick trigger coming off that high ball screen beyond the arc.
Ball bounced inside for Guenther. Guenther. Traveled with it. A late whistle right in front of the Auburn bench. Jim Weeks shaking his head.
And I really like the composure there from head coach Jim Weeks, not getting after the officials, because he knows his team has been allowed to get physical with Gothenburg on one end. Gothenburg returns a favor there, doesn't pick up a ticky-tack foul.
Braden Ehlers up across the near sideline, has a lane to the basket, got rejected, blocked by Brian Palmer.
How many times has Palmer been an eraser at the rim?
Ryan Guenther swung it to his left. Keeling, his only points, 3-pointer to beat the buzzer in the third quarter. Raylan Wenzel, his points, 2 3-pointers on the day. That's a tough shot, never had a chance, and a rebound in the corner, and a foul called against the Bulldogs.
You said it, just a real tough shot there. Once again, just a clinic put on by the zone defense, rotating with the ball, not overplaying it, altering the shot of the drive from Wenzel.
You can hear the cheers from Gothenburg here at the Devaney Center, and all the way down I-80. They're on their feet. Stick around after this one is over. We'll have our player of the game interview, brought to you in part by Nebraska Orthopedic Center, your healing destination. We've got a timeout on the floor, but Andy, what a way to flip the script on this one for Gothenburg. Right when you thought it looked like Auburn was going to be the team to possibly pull away with this one, whether it was when they got out to a 7-0 lead to start the game or early in the second half here, the punch in the fourth quarter have been from the Swedes.
Well, and they're being very decisive on offense, and even though they're getting blocked and defended at the rim, they continue to attack the rim, not taking their foot off the gas. And now, kind of like you said, the script has been flipped, and it feels like Auburn might be pressing just a little bit offensively.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And I think This is a situation that Auburn hasn't been in much this season, Andy. I mean, they've blown a lot of teams out, 24-1 on the season. Now, they had to gut out a victory in their district final. They beat Omaha Concordia by 6. This is a situation where it comes down to the last shot. Who do you look to?
If I'm Auburn, I just say the open guy because they have so many prolific scorers. Senior led, but then your leading scorer is Ryan Guenther, who's only a sophomore, so they have so many options. I don't think you can pinpoint it to just one guy.
Surprising loss on the season in that 24-1. Auburn's only loss came to a team in your neck of the woods, Andy, the Plattsmouth Blue Devils, 54-50.
Don't sleep on the Blue Devils.
They had a good year, kind of fell off in the second part of the season, but watch them in Class B in the future. Boone Teeterman, all of his points here in the fourth quarter, none bigger than those to give the Gothenburg Swedes a 5-point lead.
There it is, the continuation of driving and attacking the rim. Auburn thinks they blocked enough shots that they're not going to try it anymore. Not the case.
Creighton Keeling to an open Levine, who splashes the corner three. 2-point game, 3:40 to go.
Back and forth we go. You had a feeling that shot was going to start to fall from the perimeter for the Bulldogs.
Both teams struggled. They were a combined 3 of 22 from beyond the arc at the half. Both teams starting to find the bottom of the rim from beyond the arc.
Yeah, both offenses playing with a little bit more confidence right now.
Bryson Niels, leading scorer, but he comes off the bench for the Swedes. That hasn't mattered this season. Misses that hook shot fading away.
Had the mismatch he was looking for. Credit the defender for not allowing him to revert back and get towards the rim. Had to shoot that going away.
2-point Gothenburg lead. Auburn has been here a lot. 28 state tournament appearances. Straightaway three. Levine. Yep. Bullseye. Back-to-back for Carson Levine.
You got to love that if you're a Bulldog fan that time. Levine calling for the ball, looking for his shot.
That gives the Bulldogs a 1-point advantage. Bryson Niels almost pump fakes for the answer three. Instead passes it off right, looking for the better shot.
What's going on here?
And a lot of contact in the paint. Creighton Keeling, Axel Jorgensen hit the deck.
I mean, Keeling had him tied up, but Keeling had a hand to the face. And that was just a real awkward exchange there.
Stick around for our postgame. It's coming up in just about 2.5 minutes. It's brought to you in part by Custom Sports. From screen-printed T-shirts to sublimated jerseys, they have what your team needs to look great. Check them out at CustomSportsCO.com.
I think Jorgensen had his hand across the face of Keeling, trying to get himself away from Keeling. Keeling had him tied up. That was quite the tie-up there. You knew a whistle had to come at some point.
It's getting physical here at John Cook Arena. Kingston Kane finds Niels open off the inbound, and good defense by Palmer. Yep. A lot of contact, no call.
Yeah, he's been a rim protector this entire afternoon.
We talked about he just can't teach the 6'5", 183-pound length of that sophomore.
Yeah, I can work out as much as I want. I think I'm going to stay right here at 5'9".
Rolling pass to Creighton Keeling. Have to be careful picking that one up and not travel with it. Approaching 2 minutes remaining in regulation. Auburn by a bucket. Trouble in the lane. That's a charge. Official on the backside makes the call on Ryan Guenther as he picks up his fourth foul.
I gotta say, I think that's the right call there. Ehlers was trying to give him space, trying to back away. And that's not the best angle. We kind of got blocked by some players there, but Guenther extended his arm out and really initiated that contact.
Exactly 2 minutes remaining, and Ryan Guenther picks up his fourth foul. Ball up the floor. Kingston Kane passes it off to Teeterman. Boone Teeterman, one of the toughest players in Class C1, but he coughs up the ball. Auburn takes it away. Bretton Wenzel with the defense.
And that's what you've come to expect from Wenzel. Impacts the game in so many ways.
100 seconds separating Auburn from a date with the Ashland Greenwood Blue Jays in the semifinal. Gothenburg would love to have something to say about that, but they need to stop.
Look at the composure right now from Auburn.
Guenther to Wenzel. Big time three. Way off the mark, and the rebound secured in the paint by Bryson Niels. Kingston Kane swings it left in the corner. Niels against Wenzel. Backing down the smaller Wenzel and White, driving in, and Niels is fouled.
Keeling was cheating the whole way, standing in the lane, wanted to help with that double team. Credit Neely for feeling that and spinning back away from the double team.
Niels, 51% at the line this season. Gothenburg, 8 of 10 today. There you see it on our Lincoln Airport Authority instant replay.
Head coach Koehn, Kent Koehn.
What do you think's going through his mind right now?
Wants to see some free throws made.
Well, he doesn't see the first one go down. Niels misses the front end.
Pressure starts to mount up, doesn't it? Just over a minute left.
Niels, 10 points per game this season. 11.6 rebounds today to tie the game. Rattles at home with 1:03 to go and a timeout called by Kent Koehn. Don't you dare change that channel. 35 all, 1:03 to go. What a final shaping up here in C1.
I spend with purpose because I bank with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union. With my Liberty Plus checking account, I can earn extra cash just for spending on everyday things, like groceries, online or in-store purchases, and lunch. At Liberty First, anyone can join, so start earning money to spend on the things you love. Start banking with purpose. Start banking with Liberty First Credit Union.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Wayne State College, devoted to student success for more than 100 years. And by Crotter Auto, William Crotter Company and Crotter Home Center in O'Neill, Nebraska.
There's the giraffe.
Everybody's feeling some type of way here at the Devaney Center of this one.
Well, I think that elephant's a little deflated there. Nobody's deflated right now.
Nobody's deflated. That might be the only person that's deflated. Everybody's standing here. If you're a fan of Gothenburg or Auburn. Tie game, 1:03 to go. Keeling will inbound it to Brenton Wenzel.
Once again, some faux pressure here from the Swedes. They just don't want to allow Auburn to walk the ball up the court.
Wenzel dishes it off to Creighton Keeling. Under a minute to go in regulation time. Wenzel at the top of the key. Splits the defense as he dropped it off. Guenther picks up the loose ball. Puts it in to break the tie. 37-35, Bulldogs in front.
He's the type of player who's just always around the basketball, and when you frame yourself like that, good things happen. Ryan Guenther with a big bucket from a loose ball at the rim.
14 points, 9 rebounds. He does have 4 fouls. Good idea by Wenzel with the no-look bounce pass to Palmer. It just never got through, and lucky for Auburn, Guenther recognized it.
You're exactly right. That's why I was saying, good things happen when you position yourself around the ball at all times. Ryan Guenther, he's an offensive-minded sophomore, leading scorer, pouring in 14 a night. And once you know it, he has 14 right now, along with 9 rebounds.
We do have a final score from Pinnacle Bank Arena. Elkhorn North in Class B knocks off Wahoo 58-36.
The Wolves are howling.
I would say so. That's one heck of a score against a good Warriors squad.
It really is, but Elkhorn North, they got a multitude of shooters, and they can get on you when they are on, and that score kind of alludes to the fact that they are on today.
That'll set up Scott against Elkhorn North in the semifinals. We've got a good quarterfinal to wrap up here, Andy.
Yeah.
37-35. Crowd rises here as Auburn and Gothenburg retake the floor.
The Swedes have been taking a shot early in the shot clock coming out of timeout. Let's see if they try to hurry something up right out of that pass like they've done the past couple of times.
Leading scorer on the floor for Gothenburg today is Bryson Niels. He's got 12. The inbound picked up by Koehn. He drives, left-hand layup for the tie. 37 all with 26 seconds to go. Auburn with a chance to win the game.
Fantastic set. They got all the bigs out around the perimeter. That allowed for the one-on-one and no rim protector down at the rim for Auburn.
Brenton Wenzel, 14 seconds to go. Guarded by Ehlers. Wenzel to his left. Drives, and he is fouled by Ehlers.
It's okay. They had a foul to give. That's only the second foul on the Swedes. Oh, and that's going to allow a couple defenders to check into the game. What a substitution. Jorgensen has had a heck of a game helping out down low for the Swedes.
Just an example of the cat and mouse game the two coaches are putting on here as we've got a timeout. Andy, I'm going to have you put on your coach's hat here. What do you draw up if you're both sides?
Well, if I'm Gothenburg, I'm packing it in. I do not want Guenther, the 6'4 sophomore leading scorer, or Brian Palmer, the 6'6 sophomore, their center, to get anything cheap or easy at the rim. If they beat me with a 30-footer, so be it. But it has to be out there, around or beyond the arc. I don't want anything at the rim, especially when I know that's a strength.
We're about to find out. 4.6 seconds to go. Andy, you and I called an overtime contest a week ago. Lincoln Christian, Fort Calhoun. We saw an overtime yesterday with Freeman and Valentine. All of these games shaping up very similarly here down the stretch.
Yeah, they really are. And credit Gothenburg for kind of matching, I said it earlier, matching the intensity that the Auburn Bulldogs are known for, especially on the defensive end, going shot for shot with the Bulldogs down the stretch.
The five on the floor for Auburn: Guenther, Levine, Wenzel, Keeling, Palmer. As they inbound it, tied with 4 seconds to go. Palmer drops it off. The three is up. The putback off the mark, and we are going to overtime here at the Devaney Center.
The Bulldogs got the look they wanted. They figured, okay, if Wenzel doesn't hit that three, we got a couple of elite rebounders for the putback. Three was just off the mark. Palmer got the board, got the putback, he rims out.
Good defense underneath, and I think Gothenburg, as we all expected, would see Wenzel shoot the three. We will step aside. Overtime when we return.
When quality matters, it starts at Scotty's Ranchland Foods in Valentine. They're known for the highest quality beef, carefully aged to perfection, alongside fresh, vibrant produce, and a deli famous for fresh, never frozen fried chicken. It's quality you can see. Home of Scotty's Meat RX. Scotty's Ranchland Foods in Valentine, Nebraska. A better cut every time.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Family Physical Therapy and Sports Center, getting you back in the game. Ignite the fire and find peace. And by the Seed House in O'Neill, Nebraska. A seed for every need.
So great to have you along for the ride. And if you're just joining us, you're tuning in at the right time. Overtime again here today in C1. Again, we've seen nothing but chalk. But Andy, overtime has been a common theme here at the state tournament this year.
It really has, and it speaks to the depth and really the class of Class C1 and how deep this field is.
No doubt about that. He's Andy Klassen. I'm Jake Bartecki. We are going to decide the semifinals. Already punching their ticket. Ashland Greenwood. They'll meet the winner of this one. And then on the top side of the bracket, DC West and Ogallala.
Gothenburg has an advantage here. Auburn already with 5 fouls, so they're in that bonus. Might want to look to close this one out from the foul line if they can draw those fouls here in overtime.
What a treat here at the Devaney Center. You can feel it in the air. An atmosphere unlike any other. Both of these teams not wanting to go home. Tip is up, and Brian Palmer is able to win it over Landon Marachik.
Guenther with 4 fouls for Auburn, their leading scorer and rebounder this afternoon. That's another storyline that could unfold here in this overtime period.
Driving in the lane, Guenther, hook shot, left it short, the putback, around and knocked down. Tie up for the rebound, Keeling and Marachik, and they'll call a jump ball, which will give it to Gothenburg.
How impressive is Keeling with that offensive rebound? Does such a good job just sneaking in there, getting his hands on multiple loose balls, rebounds, offensive glass. Doing all the little things for the Bulldogs.
Tied at 37. Guenther, 14 points, 10 rebounds. His first double-double since their season opener against Malcolm. Kingston Kane throws a pass out of bounds. Too tall for Boone Teeterman.
Just a miscommunication there. Kane was thinking he was going to want to release and get a little closer to the rim.
10th turnover of the ball game for Gothenburg, 9 for Auburn this afternoon. Still looking for our first points of the extra session.
Boy, both teams doing a really nice job taking care of the ball.
Keeling dropped one inside to Palmer, and he had it deflected away. Catch a foul here on Axel Jorgensen.
But the way we've been, showering the praise on these defensive efforts, 9 and 10 turnovers, I think you'd take that.
I would agree. Obviously, Auburn is a team that only averages about 5.5 per game. Guenther misses another one. Misses the fourth shot at the bucket here in the overtime.
What is going on? That's 5 shots, point blank, that Auburn's missed.
And he's also gotten 4 rebounds as a result by Guenther there as well. Pass to the corner, Axel Jorgensen to the wing, and it's Maracek. Up top, and Maracek going to take Creighton Keeling to the rack. Got backed off, stays with the shot, put it up, and it never had a chance.
Wenzel clears it out, brings it up.
Two and a half minutes to go, 90 seconds into this overtime. We still have goose eggs on the scoreboard.
Niels checking into the game along with Koehn.
Levine missed the 3. Guenther another rebound. He'll have a chance at the rim. This time he makes it. He missed 4 in a row right at the block. That time he gives Auburn the lead. Middle of the lane. This floater up. That won't go.
Not a bad look. Under 2 to go.
Top of the key, Ryan Guenther. Dribbles left and passes it off to Brent Wenzel. Now you're going to see the patented Jim Weeks burn the clock as much as you can with the shot clock.
You're only up 2.
Kick right. Inside. Palmer is fouled.
Had a foul to give. You also want to get these guys into the game if you're Gothenburg. I think when you see Braden Niels check into the game and the likes of Kash Koehn, that gives your offense a little bit more direction.
Yeah. Andy, we've seen some great games this tournament. I think this is going to be a tournament that a lot of people are going to remember for a long time.
Oh, you said it a couple of times. No doubt about that.
Ball into the backcourt. Creighton Keeling picks it up. And a timeout called as he was harassed by Braden Ehlers. We'll take a 30-second with them. Minute 33 to go in overtime. Gothenburg trails by 2. Auburn with the only points in the extra session.
My family's been farming since the early 1900s, and it's still where we like to call home. I get to go out to the field. I get to see farmers. When they have someone that actually experienced it, they're more willing to open up and talk to you a lot more. They just kind of become a part of you.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Auto Central in Kearney. From cost-effective daily drivers to luxury cars that match your style, Auto Central is sure to have the ride you're looking for. Ignite the fire and find peace. And by Union Bank and Trust. Your money has people.
1:33 to go in overtime. Auburn student section charged up. They lead by 2. Ashland Greenwood awaiting the winner of this one this afternoon.
Yeah, Gothenburg extended that defense out. I think Coach Weeks saw something there that he was going to try and draw up and exploit with that adjustment defensively from Gothenburg. Still have 31 seconds on the shot clock to work with. Plenty of time for Auburn.
Creighton Keeling will inbound. It was Brian Palmer to inbound at the end of regulation from this same spot. Ran back down into the post. Keeling to the backcourt to Guenther. 30 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, Levine had a stretch where he knocked down a couple of threes back-to-back. Then they got away from it. They might try and open him back up.
That would give Auburn a 5-point lead if they were able to hit something from beyond the arc. Guenther, 16 points, 12 rebounds, his second double-double of the season. Wenzel, middle of the lane, rolls one out of bounds, was looking for the wing pass to Keeling for the 3, and he threw it out of bounds.
The Swedes have been doing it all game long. They really clog up the lane. Look at those multiple maroon jerseys collapsing into the lane there, making life real difficult for the Bulldogs.
Andy, you were the one that said you thought this game would come down to a final shot. It did in regulation. Same thing could be shaping up in overtime here. Here's a 3 for the lead. It's up and good. Kash Koehn, cash money, Swedes.
That's been there for Gothenburg the entire way. If they can get that initial penetration, the kick out is wide open.
Ryan Guenther looking for the answer. He dribbles it left. Back out to Palmer. His three is short. The rebound secured by Boone Teeterman, and he flips it to his backside for Kingston Koehn. Foul here. Wenzel wraps up Bryson Niels.
I don't mind that foul right there. That's going to send Gothenburg to the line, but you need to conserve as much clock as possible.
33.4 seconds remaining in overtime.
So now those foul numbers are starting to add up. Wenzel with 3. We already mentioned it. Guenther with 4.
Couple of big free throws here for Niels, and he can't connect on the first. Niels, 1 of 3 with that miss at the line. Second free throw to come.
Multiple substitutions. Defenders coming in for Gothenburg.
This to make it a 2-point game. And that one's off the mark. The rebound by Ryan Guenther. Brian Palmer brings it up the floor, drops it off to Wenzel, and he backs it out to Ryan Guenther.
Shot clock is off.
Auburn looks like they're content to let this thing run. Ryan Guenther, a double-double, his first since the season opener. Behind the back dribble, the right-hand layup is good. Auburn takes a 1-point lead. 10 seconds to go. Up the floor, bringing it up is Ehlers, and a timeout called with 7.6 seconds to go.
What a drive, a little shake and bake for Guenther, and that's why it was so key for him not to pick up that 5th foul in regulation for moments like this. Behind the back, the step through multiple defenders.
What a drive by Ryan Guenther. 18 points, 13 rebounds as we get ready to go here for the final 7.6 seconds.
Okay, more than enough time here for Gothenburg to draw something up. They can pass, shoot. They can work it inside. What I really liked in the second half and in this overtime period, the Swedes' ability to get to the rim, turn around and look back and see multiple shooters, whether it's beyond the arc or not. That jump shot is open if they can get that initial penetration, that initial drive.
41-40, Auburn with the lead. Ryan Guenther ties it with 10 seconds remaining in overtime. Gothenburg a chance to win it here. Who do you look to? Is it Bryson Niels? Is it Maracek? Is it Kash Money, Kash Koehn?
Koehn has ice going through his veins right now. He's knocked down a couple of huge threes down the stretch here, but I don't think you can. I really don't like the idea of getting Niels something towards the rim. Get him downhill, going towards the rack. Good things happen when you get 2-4 in that spot.
Final 7.6 seconds of overtime right here. The inbound will come from the bottom of your screen. Ball kicked into play by Maracek. 41-40, Auburn with the lead. A trip to the semifinals on the line. Kingston Koehn throws it up. Koehn can't get the shot to go, and Auburn survives the 3-6 upset. And a date with the Ashland Greenwood Blue Jays is set for Friday morning.
Not a bad take, in and out. Heartbreaker for the Gothenburg Swedes as they had the Bulldogs of Auburn on the ropes.
A tale as old as time. It'll be Ashland Greenwood and Auburn for a trip to the state finals in the semifinals. Your final, Auburn 41, Gothenburg 40. Pat Jansen will talk with our player of the game as well as head coach Jim Weeks right after this. You're watching state basketball on NCN.
From the heart of Nebraska to across the state, RMV Construction is building more than just structures. We're building trust. RMV Construction has grown from humble beginnings to become a trusted name across central Nebraska and beyond. With unmatched craftsmanship, cutting-edge innovation, and an unwavering commitment to customer satisfaction, we deliver projects on time, on budget, and above expectations. Trusted, local, proven. RMV Construction in Kearney and Lincoln. Let's build your vision together.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, lawn and garden tractor, or gator, every piece of equipment in our inventory is ready to work hard for your operation. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Stop by your local Landmark implement or learn more at landmarkimp.com to experience the Landmark difference.
All right, I'm John Stewart. I served almost 27 years in the Air Force. After I retired, I became very ill from Agent Orange exposure, and I lost everything we owned. One night, I sat there and practiced with a shotgun to kill myself. I said, well, I can't do this to my wife. So I went and got help, and as years passed, I became an ordained minister, and I work with veterans and trying to help people and get them to help others too.
If anxiety, addiction, or hopeless thoughts feel overwhelming, text HOME to 741-741 for support.
My family's been farming since the early 1900s, and it's still where we like to call home. I get to go out to the field. I get to see farmers. When they have someone that actually experienced it, they're more willing to open up and talk to you a lot more. They just kind of become a part of you.
Auburn headed to the semifinals once again with an overtime victory over Gothenburg, and we're now joined by Victoria's head coach Jim Weeks. Coach, that was an emotional roller coaster, to say the least.
That's one of those guts, toughness games, yep.
And you're joined now by your grandson. Jack, what are you thinking of this one? About as many words as your grandpa. Now, the guy next to you, Ryan Guenther, sophomore guard, a big one at that, but just a big performance today. What looked like it might have been the game winner in regulation, then eventually in overtime. Can you talk about his guts in this game?
Well, he's just a special kid athletically as a sophomore, and so he can do things you don't have to coach. And you know, we just needed to get him going maybe a little bit more, and finally he made some baskets when we needed to. He had 13 rebounds and 18 points. That's not bad for a grinder game.
This Gothenburg team, what were they doing that was taking away the three-point shot that's been the bread and butter for you all season?
I don't know. If I knew, I would have wrote it up on the sideline. No, they did a great job of matching up.
I'm going in the locker room.
They make it tough. They make it tough with their matchup, and so they got good athletes, and they're getting it going there. And they got guys that play a lot, so it was a game that we knew was going to go down to the wire.
Now tomorrow, on the shortest rest of any team in the state tournament, you take on Ashland Greenwood, a team you've now seen. This will be the fifth time this decade. What's it going to take to knock off the Blue Jays?
It's going to take a great effort, and hopefully we can get a scout in and stop their studs that they have inside. They got three guys that are as good as anybody at 2 feet into the lane. We're going to have to try to stop that.
Coach, congratulations. Best of luck tomorrow.
You bet.
Let's now bring in our player of the game, Ryan Guenther. And Ryan, I was telling folks over on press row, I don't think I would have ever had the courage to do a behind-the-back dribble in the paint for what ended up being the game winner. What was going through your head on that final possession?
Came up ball screen, and I don't know, nothing was open, so I tried to take it to the rim, and it worked.
18 and 13 for you today. What were you seeing? What were you seeing on the floor from Gothenburg, and what did it take to get over the hump?
Great defense. They were denying me in the high post, so we had to make adjustments at halftime. He came out, told me to be more aggressive, so I went and did more aggressive.
You and Brian were dominant on the glass today. Can you talk about his performance in the paint?
He's a good player. I mean, you take away him, you can't really do that. So, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to stop him.
Hard to have a lot of words at this point coming out of the game, but now you've got to come up with a few more, and you got to come up with a victory tomorrow against Ashland Greenwood. What's it going to take to knock off the Blue Jays?
They're a really good team. We got to come ready for practice tomorrow and be locked in.
Well, Ryan, congratulations and best of luck in the semifinals tomorrow.
Thank you.
That's our player of the game, Ryan Guenther. We'll take a break. Back with more high school basketball, state tournament basketball here on News Channel Nebraska.
My name is Andrina, and his name is Asaya. I am an international student from Malawi. When I got here, I was in a relationship, and we found out that I was pregnant. So I chose life, and that's a really good thing in my life, because then God also did great things. And yeah, we're making it in life together.
Pregnant and unsure where to turn? Contact Christian Family Care, cfcare.org.
Ashoff Construction of Osmond does it all when it comes to general contracting. From agricultural storage buildings to commercial office buildings, retail warehouses to concrete contracting. The AGI Sentinel buildings help safeguard crops and valuable assets, and Ashoff's professional builders handle the job from the design through the completion of the build. For a free estimate, contact Bill and Price, Scott Pullman, or Brandon Ruki. Call 402-748-3551 today. Visit AshoffConstruction.com for more information.
Back here at the Devaney Center, surviving in overtime are the Auburn Bulldogs, who win it here and advance to the semifinals, where they will take on the Ashland Greenwood Blue Jays, a matchup that has become familiar not only at the state tournament, but in recent years of high school basketball. 41-40 is the final. Let's take a look at how we got there. Our top plays on News Channel Nebraska. Auburn 24-1, their only loss in the season, all the way back in December to Plattsmouth. Gothenburg looking to be the only team to pull an upset today in C1, the 6th seed, 20-6. Everybody out being goofy, having a fun time here at the Devaney Center. Fun for all ages. If you were on the floor, you were a fan of one of these two teams, might not have been as fun. It was probably a little intense. Brenton Wenzel knocks down what would be the only three-point make of the first half for Auburn. Answering the other end, Bryson Niels. He had a nice game. Unfortunate to come up short in this one. He had 12 points, 6 rebounds, and a couple of assists. Right-hand layup up and good for Ryan Guenther, who had a double-double, his first since the season opener against Malcolm. And then a three rattled around and down by Landon Marachik, the 6'4 junior guard. We head to the third, 7-12 remaining in the frame. Here's a three from the corner. Brenton Wenzel. Auburn only hit 5 3-pointers in the game. He hit 3 of them. Bryson Niels back the other way. The two-hand jam up and down. And Auburn in a little bit of trouble at this point. They trail by 1. Creighton Keeling, as we head to the fourth, answers with the 3. Those were his first and only points of the ball game. Fourth quarter, 5 minutes remaining and some change. 3 straight away by Boone Teeterman, a gutsy player. And the answer on the other end, up and down, the three-pointer for Carson Levine, the 6'1 senior. Ball loose under the paint here. Ryan Guenther, right spot off a great dish that got deflected, was able to grab the loose ball and put it up and in. 30 seconds to go. The left-hand layup up and down. We head to overtime. Overtime at the Devaney Center. The 3 up, no good. Ryan Guenther, he missed 4 in a row at the block. He would not miss 5 in a row. Makes that one. Drive in the lane. Kick out. The 3 up. The 3 down. Kash Koehn from beyond the arc. And Gothenburg takes a 1-point lead. Ryan Guenther behind the back dribble. Spin move in the lane. Spinning it home with 12 seconds to go. Slow that one down. You can see how excited the cheerleaders, the student section were. They were on their feet and excited for Auburn to win this one here today. Shot was off the mark at the end of the ball game. Gothenburg falls 41-40. Auburn wins it 25-1 on the season. There's a look at the stats from this one. Rebounds big in favor of Auburn, 41-31. Assists dead even. Turnovers almost dead even. And a big discrepancy on the free throw side of things in favor of Gothenburg. Had more attempts, but unfortunately it didn't really matter. 64% to 33% and a 41-40 win for Auburn. Taking a look at the updated bracket. It is all chalk in Class C1. The top half of that bracket shows Ogallala and Sawyer Smith, the Indians, advancing today as they move into the semifinals and will take on DC West. Ogallala ran away from Syracuse in that one. The final score, 77-43. DC West pulled away from GICC, 49-41. Ashland Greenwood, you saw that one with Andy and I just before this one, 53. And then Auburn in overtime, 41-40. So Ogallala, DC West, the 1-4, and then the 2-3, Ashland Greenwood and Auburn. Those at 9 a.m. and 10:45 to start the day tomorrow at Pinnacle Bank Arena and here on NCN. Upcoming games. Before we get to those tomorrow, we've got a few more of those still to come here tonight. We will shift down a couple of classes to Class D1. A couple of games already in the books in the D1 class over at Pinnacle Bank Arena. But we're going to get some games on the air here at NCN, and those are coming up in just a little bit. Well, what an afternoon. Hopefully we have an evening just as good here on News Channel Nebraska. Auburn wins it in overtime. 41-40. Follow us on social media, especially if you want to know our upcoming broadcast schedule and where we'll be. NCN Sports Now on Facebook and YouTube, and at NCN Sports, all one word, on Instagram and X. For Andy Klassen, I'm Jake Bartecki saying so long for now. D1 action still to come tonight on News Channel Nebraska.